Good morning. We're going to get started in a couple of minutes. Please make your way down to the seats. Leadership, please line up or sit in the front row here. There's signs for you to sit. Thank you. Good morning. We're going to get started. Welcome to the operational briefing for the TCU September Lightning Complex for the operational period of September 4th through the 5th. My name is Gabe Garcia. I'm the planning section chief. I ask that you please mute your phones, silence your radios, and keep down any sidebar conversations. We're going to start off with the incident objectives. First, with the management objectives. Provide for emergency personnel and public safety at all times. Protect property improvements and infrastructure. Ensure costs are aligned with mission priorities. Ensure coordinated, timely, and accurate release of public information. Continue to enhance and maintain positive relationships with all local partners, cooperators, and stakeholders. Protect economic, natural, cultural, and heritage resources. Implement fire suppression repair activities in accordance with approved suppression repair plans. For control objectives, branch 70 and 80. Keep the fires north of Old Don Pedro Road, west of Jacksonville Road, south of Highway 108, east of Rock River. Branch 20. Keep the fires north of Stanislaus River, west of Little John Road, south of Knowles Road, east of Church Springs Road. Branch 25. Keep the fire north of Hill Road, west of Highway 4, south of Murphy's Grade, east of Ranch Road. And now with the current situation, night operations.
Good morning, Dino Esadas, night operations. So we have multiple fires, 20 fires here that we're working with. I'm going to give a highlight on some of them and get down in the little bit of the weeds with them. So over the past 48 hours, great firefight by the unit and the people that were on the line yesterday is setting you up for success today. So thank you for that work, and we'll continue it throughout today. Let's go with branch 1, top corner. All fires, there's 2 fires in that area, in that branch. They're in mop-up patrol. They're still going to have resources on it, but we still need to get depth and secure the perimeter's edge on 1-2. For branch 20, 8 fires in that branch. 2-1, 2-3, 2-4, 2-5, and 2-6 are pretty much in a patrol status, mop up and patrol. 2-2, still widening and improving lines around the perimeter and getting depth in for good, secure mop up. Going into branch 25, you have 2-7. 2-7 has 2 divisions on it, continuing to widen and improving lines establishing control lines and mop up and patrol, get some depth into the interior on 2-7. For 2-8, it's going to be again the same, widening and strengthening lines, improve them. That fire actually pushed a little bit, about 1 acre. They put line around it, so it has potential to still move the last operational period. Branch 50, mop up and patrol. That's going to be 5-2, 5-3, 5-4. Looking at the bigger portions of fire, we have branch 70, which is beyond the fire, 6-5. Continuing to improve and strengthen those lines within that division in the branch 70. On the other side of the fire is branch 80. We're going to now continue that. That fire moved in the last 24 hours, about 30 acres. They got control line around it, hose, dozers, but we need to now be prepared for that stuff to keep continue to move out on us. So secure and strengthen those lines. Going into branch 60, there was a fire down there, 6-2. We'll be continuing to mop up that one. Dozer lines all the way around it, but get great depth. Over the last 24 hours, we've been working with PG&E to release, energize some power lines areas. We worked with them through the night and setting you guys up for those particular areas that will be re-energized today, but we did get some stuff re-energized for the community to get back into their houses. And as we get resources in, we'll get them out to the line and a report.
Thank you. Up next, our incident meteorologist.
Good morning. I'm Mark Leffelbein, the incident meteorologist. Overnight last night, our RH has recovered to about 40 to 50%. That's about what we've been seeing. It's not too bad. Once our inversions break between 9:30 and 10:30 this morning, I expect those RHs to start creep down to 25 to 30%, which will be our minimums for this afternoon. Temperatures for today aren't going to be nice and mild like they are now. We're in the 60s right now, but we are headed for 90 to 95 degrees in most locations. It's going to be another warm one for us. Winds for today are going to be mainly terrain driven, 4 to 8 miles per hour upslope. This afternoon, we will pick up a slight northwest general wind force, might gust up to 15 miles per hour, but there's not much there driving that wind, so we're not going to have much of a good wind. I'm expecting mainly the concern for you to be those terrain driven winds. Thunderstorm chances should stay over the higher Sierra Mountains. I don't think they're going to be making their way all the way here. If they do, I'll get on the radio. I'll certainly let you know. If you see them, though, you know what a thunderstorm looks like. Of course, get on the radio, let me know, so that way we can get a warning out for everybody. But for the most part, I think those are going to be out of our area and not much of a concern for us. For tonight, temperatures will drop back down to 60 to 70 degrees, and those RHs will recover a little bit better at 60 to 70%. Thank you and have a safe day.
Up next, fire behavior.
Good morning. So we've got the grass oak woodlands out here. This is very indicative of this country. However, this fire spans 3 different counties and multiple different elevation profiles. So down in the valley floor, we've got all the grazing land down there nice and flat. However, up towards the top, we've got all the big trees and the heavy timber and a lot of different rough country up that way. So just be heads up on where you're going, number one, for the different fuel types that you're going to encounter out there. All the fuels are completely dried out right now. The grasses are completely cured. The brush is sitting at about 65% on live fuel moisture, which is hovering right above that critical point. So for today, depending on where you're at, you're going to see rates of spread anywhere between 300 and 500 feet per minute. You're going to see your flame lengths up around 8 to 9 feet. You're going to see this, the probability of ignition is going to range anywhere between about 80 all the way to 90 today. And you're going to see spotting up to a half a mile. One of the things you need to be real keyed in on today is when this lightning storm came through on the 2nd, it dropped about 3,600 strikes here in this region. So we're going to have a lot of holdovers that you're going to start seeing popping up over the next couple of days. Those holdovers have been sitting inside of those decadent oak trees, the ones with all the knot holes in them. They've been hanging up in a lot of the timber. So you're going to start seeing those smokes pop up as we start getting warmer and warmer throughout the day. So just be real heads up. Those trees, the oaks, everything is going to be fire weakened. So just watch where you're driving, watch your situational awareness, and have a safe shift.
Up next with our safety message, your safety officer.
Good morning, Jason Novak, safety. So, something that's a little different is we have a briefing from here, then you guys go out to one incident. Here, we're gonna have a briefing, and we're gonna have vehicles that are gonna be traveling all throughout this unit. 22 fires, 22 different locations. So I'm gonna hit on two things this morning. One's gonna be driving, the other one's gonna be hydration. So when I talk about driving, I'm not just talking about your headlights on, your seatbelts on, make sure we have a backer. I'm going to talk about the perception from this community in the way that we drive out to these incidents. This morning, well, I was fortunate enough to be behind a strike team that decided they were just going to go ahead and blow through a red light. And that's 5 engines, 1 liter. It's a perception. Because meanwhile, there was a pickup truck on the other side that did a little stop, go, stop, wait. This community will embrace all of us. But the moment that we start driving through their community like that, things will change. So I ask all of you to be leaders, to go out to your briefing, to go out to your breakouts, and get this driving thing under control. Next thing I'm going to talk about is hydration. I bring these two topics up because one was an incident with the driving, but now the incident was with hydration. It's been hot. It's been a hell of a firefight. It's been that start of the summer. But I need you guys to really pound down that we need to hydrate with these crews, right? Because the next stop from the line is going to be the hospital, and they're going to be putting bags in them, all right? So I'm not going to tell you to have a safe shift. You're going to hear that from a lot of people. I'm going to tell you to make good decisions.
Thank you. Now our incident assignments, day operations.
Good morning, Mark Thomas. Roll call. Branch 20, Valles. Randolph, trainee. Division Bravo, Crawford. Division Delta, TCU, engine 4492. Division Foxtrot, Van Bolt. Division Lima, Webb. Branch 25, Mapes. Division Oscar, Stevens, trainee. Division Quebec, Moreno. Division Tango, Benning. Branch 50, Schwetman. Division Victor, Johnston. Rice. Division Zulu, Cates. Allison. Branch 70, Harrison. Division Alpha Alpha, Bennett. Ruano. Division Delta Delta, Barry. Starrett. Branch 80, Pack. Peterson. Division Mike Mike, Eskandal. Manji. Division Romeo Romeo, Dietz.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Chris Matthews. I'm the Operations Section Chief, Incident Management Team 6. The reason this fire looks so good today is a testament to all the hard work that's occurred over the last 48 hours. Truly remarkable, from the initial attack resources into the team transition. The work everyone's been able to do is really set us up for a successful day. With that being said, what we need to do today is hold what we got. Starting off in branch 20, all the fires in branch 20, a lot of them are in patrol status. We need to get out, we need to patrol them, we need to actively go walk them, look for areas of heat. Branch 25, fire 2-7, it still needs work, still needs line, still needs people to actively look through them and find areas of concern. Moving into branch 50, stay engaged, keep patrolling, look for areas of concern. Moving into branches 70 and 80, that's priority 1. We need to finish the hand line. We need people to get out. We need to put hose in. We need to construct hand line. We need to make sure people have bladder bags if necessary. Evan, Matt, Howard, that's on you guys today. Ryan, let's make sure we put those things to bed. So priority 1, fire district 6-5. We need to knock that out. We need to get the line in and get that secured. Priority number 2, fire 2-7. That had areas of heat yesterday. They were working aircraft. Let's make sure that thing's put to bed. Priority number 3 is fire 2-3 in branch 20, Division Foxtrot. Let's get that mopped up and secured. Let's hold the fires we have, and let's have a good shift. Thank you, everyone.
Up next, air operator.
Just kidding. Good morning, Tom Swanson, Air Operations. Today's lineup for fixed and rotor wing out of Columbia Airport, they're all ready to fly at 0800. We'll have air attack over the fire at 0900. And today's lineup, we have 9 Type 1 helicopters, including Copter 609, which is Columbia Heliattack, which is for initial attack and also for day hoist. We have 1 Type 2. We have 2 Type 3 helicopters for to ensure full-time Helco coverage if needed, and also for any recons as needed there. We also have 2 UAS modules that are going to be working the 6.5 fire, and we do have a night hoist available if needed. That'll be in the local area this evening, and in the report. Thanks.
Medical unit leader.
Good morning, Angel Henry, Medical Unit Leader. Today we'll be supporting the incident with 1 line medic and 1 ALS ambulance. Both will be staged at drop point 25. We also do have more on order. We have CalMat staffed here at base camp in the grass up at the top of the hill. They are staffed with 1 doctor, 2 nurses, and 3 EMTs. We also have a MERT team at the CDCR camp here at base. Also, if you guys can turn to page 24 of the IAP, that is where you'll find the medical plan, and that's where the 9 line is. I ask that you please follow that and use the line emergency verbiage. We also have Copter 605 available tonight for night hoist. Thank you.
Up next, communications.
Good morning, John Brooks, Communications Unit Leader. Today, your 205 is on page 25 in your IAP, so do me a favor and turn there. I want to highlight a couple of things in there for you. While you're doing that, cloning is set up. It's going to be just north of the MKU, where the comm van is at. So if you did not get cloned this morning, send your troops up there to get those radios cloned. It is a Team 6 expectation that once we do have cloning available, your resources will be cloned. We can ensure everybody has the exact same frequencies and lineups that will be needed out there in the field. Additionally, at 0700, we took over communications from the comm van, so it will be known as Lightning Communications. Everything will run through that. Again, Lightning Communications. For those of you who've already been here, we're remaining on CDF Command 12. As you look at the top of your 205, you'll see 3 CDF Command 12s there. We'd locked it down to each of the 3 tones that are available, tone 3, 5, and 7. Over in the comment section, you'll see the locations where each of those tones are located. As you move around the fire, you go to different areas, you will just change the channel. You don't need to tone shop. I highly recommend you also scan all 3 of those, because as you drive around, if you're scanning all 3, you will receive the best transmission. Looking at your tactical assignments, so starting with Division Quebec, CDF TAC 30, Division Oscar, CDF TAC 31, Division Tango, CDF TAC 39, Division Alpha Alpha will be on NIFC TAC 1, Delta Delta on NIFC TAC 2, Mike Mike on NIFC TAC 3, and Romeo Romeo on NIFC TAC 4. All divisions within Branch 20, you'll be on NIFC TAC 5. And all divisions in Branch 50, you'll be on NIFC TAC 6. You'll also notice deployed the air-to-ground command, which will be CDF air-to-ground 7. And then you'll have air-to-ground TAC. Follow the correct process for utilizing those channels. And I'll leave you with a reminder, when you run into difficulties, especially using HT radios, remember height and power are key when you're using your radio. So get to a high point, use a mobile when it's appropriate, and then use relays when you need to.
Up next, logistics.
Good morning, Brian Louise Logistics. Just a couple of things for you guys this morning. Ground support is up and running. It's at the Altaville CAL FIRE facility. It's located in the back of the property there. Supply off to my left over here will be up and running later on this afternoon. And then let's just talk real quick about traffic flow at the base camp. As we get up and running, things change. Engine parking, all engine parking is out in the dirt lot as you guys come into the facility. Overhead parking is on the pavement over here. And we're just going to ask that everybody spreads the word. We don't want any vehicles up in this upper portion of the property, and we keep that traffic flow going. Thank you and have a good shift.
And now a message from finance.
Good morning, Joe Tapia, Finance Section Chief, Team 6.
All agency personnel, please check in with the time unit to start your time. Hired equipment resources, please check in with the time unit as well with a hard copy of your rental agreement. Electronic shift tickets are required for this incident. For any shift ticket questions or issues, come please see me in the time trailer. Thank you.
Now liaison officer.
Morning, Ryan Lubin, Team 6 Liaison. If you are in camp and you feel the need that you need peer support for any reason, we have peer support here at the camp for you. Their trailer is the first one right here in Trailer Row. That is, those services are open to anybody and everybody. You don't have to just be somebody that's working for a department. It could be one of our vendors, anybody walking through camp. We also have a clinician on scene are at site to see you and give you any help that you might need. Additionally, we'll have our cooperators meeting up top here in the Frog Eateria at 10 a.m. and we hope to see you guys there.
Up next, information.
Good morning, Pono Barnes information. If you turn to your IEP page 27, we have the PIO insert, and pull out a pen and we'll get some total acreage and stats for you. So right now we are at 13,790 acres and 15% containment, and there are 1,487 personnel assigned to the fire. So on this page we have our incident media and information line. If you come across members of the public or our media partners and they're looking for a PIO, you can give them that number. You can also call us directly if you have media that are interfering with your operation. They are allowed to film and be in the fire area. However, they are not allowed to interfere with your operation or be on private property. If you see that happening and we need to get PIOs out there, you can use that phone number to get a hold of us. Additionally, you can share with the public those social media handles, as well as the link tree that we've set up for all the other additional resources that will be helpful for information flow. And the PIO shop will also be housing the lost and found, as well as providing mail service, and that information is at the bottom of that insert. Thank you.
And now with closing comments, our agency administrator and incident commander.
Good morning, everyone. Nick Cashy. I'm the unit chief for the Tuolumne Calaveras unit, fire chief for Tuolumne County Fire Department, and the agency administrator for the incident. On behalf of the unit, I appreciate everybody being here, including Team 6, Type 1 products they're providing. I also like to thank the Calaveras County Fairgrounds folks that are accommodating the base camp, always putting us as priority. For perspective and magnitude to the incident, we have 21 fires, 4 different counties, over 13,000 acres in 48 hours. And why is the 48 hours important? Because most of the resources you're going to relieve this morning have been out there that long with very little support. So I appreciate you going out there, doing the work, and allowing us to get the folks back in the community, specifically in the areas of Vallecito and Chinese Camp. Thank you.
Good morning, Jeremy Gagne, Incident Commander, Team 6. Just want to thank everybody for the work you've done thus far. It's been quite the effort last 48 hours, and it has not been unnoticed. Still a lot of work to do, so make sure that we understand our incident priorities and objectives today. Make sure that we're traveling safely to and from our task, and then as we move through these communities, make sure that we are following those basic traffic laws. Still a lot of work to be done, and the only way it's going to get done is by boots on the ground. So we heard the incident objectives and priorities. Make sure that we are crossing those off of our list, and then ultimately make sure that we're getting back here safely so that we can continue those efforts and get the job done. Have a good shift, and let's go to work.
Thank you. I'd like to remind you that you need to attend your branch division breakouts. Breakouts are clearly marked to the right, center, front, and left of the stage. Unassigned resources, meet with the resource unit leader to the right of the stage right here. Cooperators meeting at 10, planning meeting at 1800, and your next operational briefing at 0700. Don't forget to unmute your mics and turn up your radios. That concludes our briefing.